Okay, so we are back again, and moving on to the next question, I'm going to ask you, as a journalist, how do you ensure the accuracy of the information that you report? In the sense of, you are sure that before this goes on air, because obviously for the station you work for now, you are planning on going, international.
Oh,
They are already even international
That's the
because we stream
destination.
on YouTube.
Absolutely.
So before you go in front of the camera, as the journalist that you are, how do you ensure the accuracy of that information?
Okay, so part of what we do is we actually have the mechanism, the structure already for fact checking in the station. So it's not just, you don't just come up and say whatever you feel. We have a faculty around the shows that we present, such that multiple people are checking facts. And you find that if anyone ever mentions something that is false, we will be able to correct it. Because even while we're on air, the faculty is still making sure that everybody is saying the right thing. And it is possible to call one out to say right on the WhatsApp group that this is wrong.
Yeah.
So it gets corrected. And if any one of us on the show that we present says something wrongly, you're likely going to have another person, correct that.
Yeah, straight.
So fact checking most times is not just about an individual. It's about building a system around facts, because no one person can checkmate these things. That is why in a typical media house, you have structures, you have hierarchy. Before the news goes out, even when it originates from me, you find that it has gone through a lot of other people. And then we stick to information on national dailies, even before we start doing the fact checking. So we're not going to social media to pick information, because we know how disinformation and misinformation is propagated mostly via social media. And when we're talking about newspapers, we're looking at these ones that are well recognized, top newspapers who have a name to protect. So we stick to them. And then, of course, for local news, it's easy to verify because you're usually the one originating the story. But I'm talking about all of these other ones. Yes, the structure that we've built makes, and then one thing about me is I keep asking questions. So each time I have to say anything, or each time I'm getting new information, the next thing I'm doing is to discuss it with an older colleague, not just to verify, but to also broaden my context so that my view is not narrow. I like it when I'm able to analyze beyond what the normal person would process. So sometimes it becomes a mix or a blend of ideas that I've picked, sound ideas from older persons or senior colleagues in the industry whom I have communed with, and that makes me richer, and people can go by what I say. So you see, it's about respecting the system as well and building yourself up to recognize and even at that, when I hardly say categorical things on air. You would have me using words like allegedly, this and that, because you have to still stay very safe.
Yeah.
So there's a way to communicate when you know that the information is going right out. You want to not err on the part of caution.
No, just a sub question on that same question. What's your take on plagiarism? Like, just give me something. What do you think? Plagiarism, is it, how do I put this now? Is plagiarism helping the journalists get more stories, or just give me your general take on plagiarism as a journalist?
Of course, you know that plagiarism is stealing the information put out by other people and appropriating it as yours. And it is not something that anyone who is a journalist should be proud of. Passing things off, stealing people's ideas, their writing styles and all. Of course, we know that not all journalists will be at the scene of incidents. Sometimes you will have to anchor on the eyewitness who was there, possibly a journalist who is a local around there. But to what extent do you own the story? And to what extent do you attribute, to the other person or give them credit? That is what draws the line between an ethical journalist and one who is a street journalist who was not trained.
Yeah.
So I believe that plagiarism should be stamped out. We're not even doing enough enforcement, as perhaps NUJ or, the regulators. We're not doing a lot of enforcement. I don't quite know to what extent we go to drill this, because Yes, we have lots of people who are practicing and not trained, not well trained, perhaps academically or any way. So that's a huge problem that everybody should be wary of. Once you did not originate information, please ensure that you give due credit to whoever originated that information. It tapers down to other forms of content. I'm not a saint, and perhaps someone watching me will be like, oh, is it easy to avoid plagiarism these days when we just go on the internet, we pick things? But we can try.
Okay.
We can try as much as possible. Do not willfully plagiarize.
So that's a warning to
Do not.
journalists now.
Do not. No. Well, I won't say a warning, an advice, really, a friendly advice.
Okay.
Yes. Do not. Sometimes in ignorance it can happen, and that's when the person would tender an apology and make good. Making good means going back to perhaps edit what you had written just to ensure that you've done the right thing, to do the acknowledgements that you should. So times like that, it happens. Yes, this is journalism. It's an everyday thing.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes.